This is the perfect onboarding process for your SMMA. Your onboarding is your client's first impression of you, which is why it's so important to completely smash their expectations. The second your client pushes that pay button, they start regretting signing up. It's basic human nature. It's your job to reassure them using this onboarding process and show them that they've made the correct decision and are working with someone who actually knows exactly what they're doing to get the dream outcome. Perfecting your onboarding process will help you build long-term relationship with all of your clients, decrease your churn rate, and establish yourself as a power figure in a relationship. This video is a bit different to our usual automation, guys, and if you're watching to the end, I'll show you the perfect onboarding process you need to employ in your agency to actually onboard clients the right way. I don't want to waste any more of your precious time, so let's get straight into the perfect way to actually onboard clients. Oh, and by the way, if you're new here, you'll soon find out we don't hide anything, so be ready to get a full solution to a major problem from a random guy on YouTube. So we're going to be going over the perfect onboarding process. Now, just a heads up, if you've already seen the channel before, this is a bit different from our newer videos. This isn't going to be an automation tutorial like the rest of the videos where we go over kind of a specific examples of automations. This is more of an example breakdown, breaking down the ideal onboarding process for SMMA agencies. Now, if you're wondering who is this guy, well, my name is Leo. I'm the CEO and founder of Fluxomate. We work with a bunch of different marketing agencies around the world, and I've also studied most of these guys, all of the YouTube content to see the different systems they have to put together this perfect onboarding process I'm going to show you below. Now, this is mainly for SMMA agencies. However, if you're in a particular agency, you can kind of apply the same frameworks and kind of key principles that we have here to your specific onboarding process to make it a bit more relevant to your specific systems and offering. Within this tutorial, you'll see this little Fluxomate logo on the different steps. That basically means it can be automated. Like I said, this is not automation tutorial, so we won't be going too deep into that. I just wanted to put that there to kind of make it clear of the different possibilities that you can do if you wanted to actually integrate this onboarding process and eventually automate it to make your life easier and save everyone on your team a lot of time. So guys, without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. So the way we see it is split up into 4 key phases, and the first phase is everything that should happen within half an hour. So let's say in an ideal world, you would have collected payment before this step, so live on a sales call, and you also would have booked in a kickoff call date, which once again, ideally would be within 5 days of you actually collecting the payment, just to avoid wasting any time. So let's say you close the client, congratulations. What actually happens now? So the first thing we want to do is send a notification to your project manager to actually call the lead. Now, this is a very simple call, but it's extremely powerful. And this is something we've implemented as well within our agency. It's basically a very, very simple call. The project manager or the person that's actually going to be working with the lead calls them and introduces themselves, explains what they're going to be doing, and just basically it's showing them they're excited to work together and actually give your client results. Now, this shouldn't be longer than 5 minutes. Even that is a bit of a stretch. It's just a super quick call to kind of encourage the client that they made the right decision. Because as soon as they send that payment, they're going to be regretting it. They're going to be second thinking you. So you kind of want to comfort them in any way you can to reinforce that they made the right decision with you and you're really about to change their lives. And this step right here does magic at actually doing that. In terms of time frame for this specific step, ideally this will be as soon as you actually get the payment. So let's say within half an hour. The sooner you do it, the better the actual impact it has on the client, in my opinion anyways. Now, let's move on to the next step, which is actually ordering a gift for your partner. Now, this can be anything. I know some people do handwritten notes as well. I would just suggest buying a book that's really impacted you or that can actually impact your client's life towards your service, and a box of chocolates, because who doesn't like a box of chocolates? Regardless of whether they eat it or not, or whether they actually consume the book and knowledge you're trying to give to them, this just kind of sets a standard for all your interaction with the client, but it's also an extremely nice gesture. If someone wants to get you a gift, you will remember that for a long time. And that's the same kind of effect we're hoping to have with our clients, making you as memorable as possible and making sure you're starting to build a relationship with them where they feel comfortable actually working with you and preventing them from regretting the decision doing anything stupid like a chargeback, which is literally the worst case scenario for you. I've got this little Fluxomate logo here. You're probably wondering, how can you automate this? Now, once again, this is an automation tutorial, but you can either automate creating a task for yourself to actually purchase a gift, but you can also automate actually directly buying a gift from platforms like Amazon using the API. If you want a video on that, let me know. I know a lot of people are interested in this, so I'm more than happy to record it for you guys. Once that's done, you actually want to set up your communication. Now, in this example, I'm using Slack just because a majority of you guys use Slack. But yeah, you just want to set up your communication platform to provide somewhere so the client can actually communicate with you if anything's going on. It's a simple 3-step process. You want to invite them to Slack, create the actual channel for them, and add any relevant team members to that channel. Once that's done, you move into the next step, which is actually creating a Google Drive setup. Now, once again, we use Google Drive, but you can use whatever you use. as an online kind of cloud platform to different storage. We like to create 2 different folders. So the first one is the overall folder for the client, and the second one is more of a shared folder, which you share the client automatically. Now, the only reason to do that is because sometimes we're working on things that we don't want to show the client just yet, which is why we separate into kind of distinct folders. Once that Google Drive folder is set up, we go to the next step, which is actually creating a client portal. Now, this is very kind of individual to your specific scenario, but we always use client portals when working with clients, and we recommend all of our partners to actually use client portals, which is kind of what we create for them. Our client portal can be anything. It can be your own internal tool. It can be a spreadsheet going over the tasks you're currently doing. But the main thing about this, it gives your partner a chance to always check in on what's going on, so they're never out of the loop. We personally love this, and we use it all the time to kind of give rewards to our clients when they reach certain stages. But I'll get more into that in a second. So yeah, set up a specific client portal for your clients so they can already log in and kind of check in what's the next steps and what's actually going on. Next, you want to create a contract. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory. Now, some people kind of do that on the sales call as well, or they share it with them. But we usually do it after we get the payment, before we kind of just show them a template. But you want to send over a contract to them to make sure they actually sign it, so you're protected if anything happens. But also kind of reinforces your kind of standpoint as an established agency. You can use a bunch of different platforms for this, even Google Docs if you want. Doesn't really matter. Just get them to approve everything and sign it. And then you want to send a kickoff email with all this information together. Here you have a link to your kickoff form, which we'll get to in a second. The Google Drive folder we created in the previous step, the contract, and also remind them that they have a kickoff call scheduled a specific time and date. And that's basically the end of the first stage. Now, literally a majority of this can be automated, and I would recommend automating it. But if you can't automate it, make sure this gets done within 24 hours of them actually paying you. The more delay you have in this, the more kind of worry you're putting the client's mind, because they won't be in the loop. And literally, as the hours goes on, they're going to start regretting the decision more and more and more. If you establish a really, really good onboarding process, it's hard to get the clients not to love you and actually look forward to your calls. Completely changing the shift in energy here, but I'm sure you guys already know that, which is why you're actually watching this video, to get a perfect onboarding process. Now, the next stage is what happens before the kickoff call. Now, before the kickoff call, you need to make sure they actually complete the kickoff form. So if they haven't already, let's say 24 hours before the kickoff call, send them a message to actually encourage them to complete the kickoff form. Now, the kickoff form could be something very, very simple. It's basically just a set of questions to get information from the client, which will help you in your service delivery. As soon as that comes in, you want to share that information with your team so they can actually begin working on the ads before the kickoff call. Now, this is super, super powerful. You don't want to wait until the kickoff call and having nothing. Using some of this information from the kickoff form, you should be able to begin working on ads at least, just so on the kickoff call, you already have something to show them and they're going to be blown away, trust me. So send that information with your team, but you also want to kind of send a confirmation to the partner. And within that confirmation, we're going to include another gift. Now, this won't be anything like a book or box of chocolates. It's more of a valuable gift you can give them. So if you have a specific calculator that they can use, or even something they can give to their own clients, just as a useful spreadsheet, I don't know, something to basically thank them for kind of completing the onboarding form. And this is a key principle that we're going to be applying to a lot of different stages here. Every single time the client does something, you want to reward them. And the only reason we do that is because we want to encourage them to actually do the stuff we need them to do. Because trust me, it can be a real bottleneck if your client doesn't do the things which are actually holding you back from doing work, because then they'll come back to you and complain that you're causing delays when in reality it's not your fault. And now the second to last thing you want to do is prepare some sort of kickoff document. Now, this is basically a document going over the kickoff form and the steps you're going to be having on a kickoff call, kind of like a script of the different frameworks you're going to be using. I'll show you an example here. Now, these bits are obviously all filled in from their answers on a kickoff call. This is the older version, so kind of ignore the content, but just to give you an idea. And we have a kind of general script of what we're going to be talking on the call and the different plans we're going to be talking about. Once you have this, you actually want to prepare for the kickoff call. There's nothing worse than hopping on a call and you don't have any information about your client. So make sure to go over the kickoff document we just created, go over the form responses, even go over some of the transcript of the sales call to identify the specific key points and really understand your client so you can actually get them the best results possible. In terms of the actual kickoff call, there's a couple key things you need to do. I really suggest checking out this slideshow right here. If you don't know Matt already, he's a very, very big guy in the SMMA space. I mean, his agency right now is doing around 400K a month, which is unbelievable. But he was kind enough to share this onboarding slideshow, which he uses in the kickoff calls. And as you can see, it's over 165 slides. And it's a perfect example of the kind of structure you should be having on your kickoff calls. The main thing you want to do here is set expectations, so expectation on results, how they're going to communicate with you, timing of certain things, and just give them a clear guide on what's happening next and what they can expect. Also, extremely important, if you need something done from the client, which will actually hold you back from doing work, such as, I don't know, logging into your CRM or giving access to certain resources, do it live on a call. And I don't mean to say that you have a babysit your client, but most of the time we're working with quite busy people and they won't take this as a priority. So make sure that if anything needs to be done, do it live on a call. Save everyone time and avoid any delays and actually getting your results. If you want a link to this presentation, send me a DM on Instagram at Fluxomate. Once again, this is straight from Matt. So if you haven't already, check out his YouTube channel. His name is Matt Shields and he drops so much value, it's crazy. That moves us on to stage 3, which is after the kickoff call. Now, once again, this should happen within 7 days of them actually completing the payment. But let's say the kickoff call completed. The first thing you want to do is share all the information you discovered on the kickoff call with the rest of your team so they can actually get started on creating and launching the ads to get that first win for the client. Once that's done, I also like to share a similar approach with my own clients. Now, I like to do something similar with my clients. So I was trying to send them a summary of the call, key points we talked about, but also a roadmap of the next steps that they can expect. Once again, guys, the whole purpose of this, I want to keep my client in the loop as much as possible. I want them to have a full understanding of what's actually going on, so they're never left in the dark or even left wondering, okay, what's going to happen next. And the next thing you want to do is get them the first win. I can't stress how important it is to actually get them that first win within the first 7 days of them actually paying you. The first win can be anything, just something that can give your clients some sort of expectations for what's about to happen in terms of results. I know a lot of agencies do reactivation campaigns for their clients or some sort of Google review. Just think of something you can do in a very short amount of time to provide real results to your clients. If you know this, then down the road when you have some sort of delays with results, they will remember this. And once again, this whole point of this is to increase their perceived likelihood of achievement so they have less regrets of actually beginning to work with you. Now, once that's all done, we move on to the last stage, which is phase 4. Now, in all honesty, this isn't directly related to the onboarding stage, but I thought I'd include it just in case. 30 days after the sign up, you want to start collecting feedback. Now, you can do this through an online form. In order to actually encourage them to complete the form, you should kind of tell them, okay, complete this form to get this free gift. That will actually encourage them to give you some feedback. And guys, make sure you actually encourage your client to be honest and create an atmosphere where they feel like they can actually provide feedback to you. This is extremely important because if something's not going well or if they're not happy with anything, this is a perfect chance for them to actually communicate that with you so you can actually improve your specific service offerings to suit their standards better. Creating an atmosphere where feedback is encouraged is extremely important, both for your clients and for even your employees. And if you set this up the right way and have this kind of open loop of communication, you'll decrease your churn extremely, but also build better relationship with your clients because they feel comfortable to tell you their problems and you can work together for a solution to actually improve them. If they do submit the form, you actually want to implement the feedback. Now, we automate this the way we do it. We have an AI model which kind of analyzes the responses to the questions and kind of sets key KPIs for success managers to actually improve the kind of experience of the client. Another thing is just to send the form over to your success managers, have them review it, and implement any improvements that they can to improve that partner's experience. And that's pretty much it, guys. This is what I would say is a perfect onboarding process. Now, like I said, this is kind of specifically for marketing agencies, and I wouldn't say it's a plug and play solution for everyone because everyone's onboarding is going to look slightly different depending on specific service offering. But I hope this has given you a good framework that you can actually copy and paste to provide your clients with a better experience and decrease your churn rate by building these long-lasting relationship with your clients and having them stick by you. Like I said, this was a bit different from our usual videos of different automation examples. It was just an example breakdown. If you want to kind of see a guide on how you can actually automate your onboarding process, check out this video right here where we go over the frameworks you need to use to actually automate different things within your onboarding process and how you can actually do that completely for free. If you watched up to this point, chances are you're actually interested in automation. So I recommend checking the first link in the description to get access to an agency's guide to automation. This is our current lead magnet and it's 100% free. It's got 4 different tools you can actually use to automate your agency. I'll just being fully transparent. This is great, don't get me wrong, but we're working on an even better version to provide you guys with so much more value. So keep an eye out on our YouTube and Instagram for that. We'll send any updates there. And if you don't already know, we have a newsletter as well. We send out weekly automation tips so you can get your operations together to set up a skill-proof agency. So if you want to sign up to that, check out the second link in the description for free access. And last but not least, if you're interested in working with us or you want to get an understanding of what we do, you can check out the third link in the description to find out how we can actually save you $100 a month with a scalable system that allows you to take on more clients without ruining your service delivery or profit margins. It's a quick 10-minute video going over our exact process that we use to set up a skill-proof agency for our clients. So if you're interested in any of that, check out the third link in the description. And just a heads up, we do say no to about 70% of everyone that applies. The only reason to do that is because we have a results-driven guarantee, and quite obviously if we don't let on the right people, we'll lose money, which we don't want. But check it out. I get a lot of questions on Instagram asking me specifically, oh, what do you guys do? So we put together this video to kind of clear everything up. And that's pretty much it for the video. I'm sure this has been valuable. So if you haven't already, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I hope you can apply this to your onboarding process to improve it and give your clients as much upfront value as you possibly can. That's it from me today, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.